A man is resting on the sofa when he's jolted awake by a shrill mechanical whir. He follows the sound to the kitchen and stuns to see the meat grinder on the counter spinning all by itself. He reaches out to turn it off, but the refrigerator door behind him creaks open without a warning, swinging wide on its own. Confused and bewildered, he wonders if his wife is playing a prank on him. He's about to go find her to confront her when an ear-splitting racket erupts from the living room. He rushes back immediately, only to spot a hooded figure sitting on the sofa, flicking through TV channels non-stop. The man flicks on the light to get a clearer look, but in the blink of an eye, the hooded figure that was just on the sofa vanishes without a trace. He questions if anyone was even there at all, yet a distinct indentation on the sofa cushion proves someone had been sitting there. As he starts to search the house, the hooded figure creeps up behind him silently. Meanwhile, in the bedroom, Lisa jolts awake from a nightmare. She spots blood on her pillow and touches the back of her head, finding a bleeding wound there. She hurries downstairs, only to discover him lying dead in the living room under mysterious circumstances. Moments later, a disheveled hooded figure appears beside his body, crawling in an eerie, unnatural way. Lisa spins around and flees upstairs, scrambling to shut the bedroom door, but the figure chases her close on her heels and slams into her, sending her flying across the room into an unconscious state. It isn't long before the police receive an emergency call and rush to the scene, shocked to see the gruesome state of the man's body. Strangely enough, there are no signs of forced entry anywhere in the house. How could the culprit have gotten in? The next day, Detective Jack, who's assigned to the case, heads to the hospital to question Lisa about what happened. But Lisa is so traumatized that she can't bring herself to answer a single question. Meanwhile, Detective Black uncovers two crucial pieces of information from Lisa's neighbors. Lisa's husband had a history of domestic violence, and Lisa had suffered 3 miscarriages over the past 2 years. Combined with the lack of forced entry at the crime scene, Black is convinced that Lisa killed her husband as an act of revenge. A few days later, she's just tossed the dirty clothes into the washing machine when she suddenly sees a strange woman's face materialize on the machine's glass door, demanding to know why Lisa is in her house. Lisa is overcome with fear, and in that instant, the hooded figure steps forward, grabs the woman by the hair and slams her hard onto the floor. The entire room then shifts and twists in a surreal blur, and Lisa finds herself in the woman's house before she can process what's happening. Before Lisa can react, the hooded figure grabs a trophy and slams it repeatedly into the woman's head in a frenzied attack. In the next split second, Lisa is back in her own house, convinced what she just experienced was nothing more than a terrible nightmare. What she doesn't know, though, is that the police have just discovered the woman's body at her home and her cause of death is identical to that of Lisa's husband. The police confirm the 2 murders are the work of the same culprit, and this latest victim is a renowned pediatric surgeon, her home lined with mementos from the patients she'd treated over the years. Black and Jack suspect the killer is likely one of the surgeon's former patients, so they bring all her medical files back to the police station and comb through each one meticulously, hoping to find a vital clue. That night, as Lisa lies in bed ready to sleep, she suddenly sees a large, heavy-set man lying next to her. She screams in terror, but her body is completely paralyzed, unable to move an inch. Then the hooded figure appears behind her out of nowhere, crawls over her body, pulls out a long blade, and stabs the heavy-set man dozens of times. Only when the figure finishes the attack does Lisa regain control of her body, sitting bolt upright in bed and screaming at the top of her lungs. Lisa can't take it anymore. She goes to the police station with her sister to tell them everything that's been happening to her. But Detective Black, who's still convinced Lisa is guilty, refuses to believe a single word of her story and insists Lisa is behind all the killings. Lisa's sister can't hold back her anger any longer and demands that Jack go to the heavy-set man's house to investigate in person. Left with no other choice, Black and Jack take Lisa to the man's apartment, and sure enough, they find him dead inside, exactly as Lisa had described in her terror-stricken account. This forces Black to finally question whether Lisa's story might actually be true. The police then create a composite sketch of the killer based on Lisa's description, but what emerges is a grotesque, disfigured figure that looks more like a monster than a human. This makes Black doubt Lisa all over again, convinced she's the real mastermind behind the murders. Lisa doesn't argue back. She goes to the sink to splash water on her face, when an anonymous call suddenly comes through. The caller claims to know Lisa's true identity and tells her she knows exactly who they are and that they'll make her watch as everyone around her falls. Lisa is consumed by despair, and in a moment of panic, she cries out the hooded figure's name without thinking. She has no idea how she knows the figure is called Gabriel, but she's certain he's someone she knew in her past. Lisa was adopted by her current mother when she was 8 years old, and she has no memories whatsoever of her life before that. She's convinced Gabriel is someone she knew before she was adopted, so she immediately drives to her mother's house and asks if she's ever heard of a man named Gabriel. The second her mother hears the name, a look of sheer terror crosses her face. When Lisa first came to live with her, she would often talk to thin air for no reason. Whenever her adoptive parents asked who she was talking to, Lisa would only reply, Gabriel. At first, her mother thought Gabriel was just an imaginary friend Lisa had created, and that with enough love and care, Lisa would eventually stop talking to him. But as time went on, Lisa's bizarre behavior didn't improve. In fact, she'd often talk to Gabriel on a toy phone, muttering words that no one could understand. Meanwhile, back at the police station, Jack uncovers a suspicious patient in the pediatric surgeon's medical files, a 7-year-old girl named Emily, who suffered from frequent hallucinations and claimed she could see a demon everywhere she went. To treat Emily, the surgeon brought in 2 other doctors to work with her on a joint treatment plan for the little girl. And Emily, Jack realizes with a jolt, is none other than Lisa, before she was adopted. A thought suddenly strikes Jack, and he hurries to pull out a group photo of the 3 doctors, and sure enough, 2 of them are the 2 victims who've been killed in the mysterious attacks. The third, a white-haired doctor, is next on the killer's list. At that very moment, Lisa is washing up at home when she suddenly sees the white-haired doctor's figure appear in the mirror. The room shifts again, and she finds herself in the doctor's house before she can blink. It isn't long before Jack rushes to the white-haired doctor's home, only to find her dead in the bathtub, just as he'd feared. Lisa sees Jack burst in and begs him for help, but to her horror, Jack can't hear her voice at all. He can't even see her standing right there in front of him. Just then, the hooded figure leaps down from the ceiling, pounces on Jack before he can react, and then flees the house in an instant. Jack chases the figure all the way to an abandoned building, where the figure jumps down from the roof of a derelict carriage, intent on stabbing Jack to death with a single blow. But Jack fights back fiercely, even after the surprise attack, and the figure can't gain the upper hand. Unwilling to linger and fight, it leaps onto a roof beam and vanishes without a trace. Jack is now certain that Lisa is somehow connected to the deaths of the 3 doctors, so he heads straight to her house and tells her everything he's uncovered, hoping to get some clues from her. But Lisa has no memories of her life before she was 8 years old. Desperate to uncover the truth, Jack hires a psychiatrist to try and unlock Lisa's repressed memories through hypnosis.
Gabriel! He followed me home from the hospital. I'm the only one that can see him.
You ruined your mother's cake.
I didn't, it was Gabriel!
You can't keep lying like this, Maddie. There's no Gabriel.
Go to your room. Madison, go to your room right now.
So when he does something bad, I'm the one that gets in trouble.
Go away.
No one knows what Gabriel says to her on the phone, but Lisa picks up a knife and walks to the kitchen, intending to cut a piece of cake for her mother. But the kitchen suddenly transforms into her mother's bedroom in a surreal flash, and Lisa's memories of Gabriel finally come flooding back. She'd forgotten everything about him all these years because after her sister was born, she buried those memories deep in her mind, repressing them completely.
Wait, are you saying that the killer is your imaginary friend?
As everyone struggles to make sense of what's happening, a woman suddenly falls from the ceiling, crashing down hard onto the living room floor. Lisa breaks down completely at the sight. Jack had just started to believe Gabriel's actions had nothing to do with Lisa, but now, they find a woman being held captive in Lisa's attic, along with the murder weapon and the clothes the killer had been wearing. Nothing about this case makes sense anymore. What really happened here? Find out in the next episode.